the Palestinian factions met in Cairo. All of the Palestinian resistance movements and the Palestinian political movements, including Hamas, the PIJ, the PFLP, PFLP-GC, DFLP, some of the other national movements as well. And initially, the PLO, as in the West Bank Authority, led by the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, they initially, two representatives, namely Hussein al-Sheikh, who is now confirmed to be his successor, and Majid Faraj, the head of the intelligence, they met with the Egyptian head of the intelligence, or the intelligence in Egypt. Then we found out that they actually also met with Hamas and the other Palestinian movements, the majority who have the power to say what the consensus is or isn't. But there's positivity from what we've heard so far, both from the Fatah movement, which is of course leading the West Bank Authority, and the other Palestinian movements, is that they are in agreement. They are in agreement that, number one, we need to unite under one umbrella, both in Gaza and the West Bank. We agree that there will be a technocratic transitional government in Gaza, or civil society leading in Gaza, and they're going to continue based on the fact that everything that happens in Gaza will be also implemented in the West Bank. They were also talking about the international forces and the boundaries and the limits. Israel was portraying this force as basically a force working on behalf of Israel to disarm the Palestinian resistance. That was far from what the Palestinian side said. No one has a say. There will be no foreign intervention. The Technocratic Committee is going to be formed of people from within Gaza, and that will be temporary to lead to elections at one point. And again, we're talking about the West Bank and Gaza. How will it work? What will Israel do? What are the other details of these initiatives? Are we talking about a bigger plan for the next several years? All of that remains in the realm of the unknown. But what we do understand is it's purely a Palestinian day, the day after. Not what the propagandists were telling us all the time. Hamas will play no role, there will be disarmed, and we're going to eliminate them, and none of that is going to happen. So they're still talking. They're finalizing certain things in relation to, firstly, the first phase, which is the relief, the entry of aid, temporary housing, then the recovery of the healthcare sector, which is very important and vital, allowing everyone who requires urgent medical treatment to get out, get that treatment, get back. Then the rebuilding process. And again, we're starting to see more heavy equipment going in, as even confirmed by Israeli sources, under the excuse of, they're helping to rescue the Israeli prisoners of war, according to them. Okay, so who is going to lead Gaza? Is it going to be Tony Blair or is it going to be Donald Trump? Who's going to be running Gaza? Are we going to have a new Ameritish mandate in Gaza? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And listen, the Palestinian delegations, they didn't say who it's going to be. They didn't even say the names, okay? But they were talking about them. They're talking about them, and according to them, we have confirmed who they are. Apparently, Israel knows. Who is this man, according to Israeli sources so far that are being repeated also in some of the Arab media? This man is called Amjad El-Shawwa. Amjad El-Shawwa is a man who was born in Gaza. He has a vast history of social activism in Gaza, working in the human rights field, working in journalism, reports that he was also working with Amnesty International. A man who played a big role in trying to lift the siege of Gaza from 2007. A man who led a committee that deals with children with disabilities in Gaza, very, very much on the humanitarian side. And according to several reports, has done a very noble job in his past to this day. A man that Gaza does need, according to what we see so far. So from a profile perspective, he ticks the boxes. He is a native of Gaza. He has a rich history in working in the humanitarian field, social activities, bringing people together, development, lifting the siege, and he is very well known by the society, and both sides agree on him, Hamas and the Palestinian Authority. Now, mind you, this is still a confirmation only from Israel. Is there likelihood for Israel to know the name? Yes, there is, because if they would be talking about certain names, chances are the Israeli delegation in Egypt will know about this name. And again, no one can say anything. If we're talking about him, no one can say that he was a member of either Hamas or Fatah or anything of the sort. Independent guy, but with a track record of working on the humanitarian side. Will he be the actual person leading the technocratic government for the day after in Gaza? We will not be able to confirm that until the Palestinian side has a confirmation. However, judging on this name and the recent development and the fact that we haven't even heard about more Israeli breaches in terms of attacks or strikes. There was one maybe yesterday or the day before in Gaza. All of the confirmation that's coming from Israel about the Palestinian resistance operating in areas beyond the yellow line, further Israeli withdrawal, the allowing of heavy equipment to go inside of the Gaza Strip, Israel understanding very well that Hamas is not going to be disarming, and Israel confirming that forces from hostile countries are going to be playing a role in the day after in terms of security for a transitional period. All of that leads us to believe that things aren't going the way that Israel wanted them to go. And as a matter of fact, Israel, and it's also confirming that, is submitting to the pressure that is being applied on it by the mediators and by the reality on the ground inside of the Gaza Strip.